Women don't care about you if you're not doing anything for them. Now, you could say that this is a general thing about all humans, and there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that all humans don't really care that much about other humans. Most humans don't. I mean, not to say that every single human doesn't care about any other human. There are definitely people who care, and there are definitely people who care about other people. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to see people suffer. There's a lot of people out there that are against human oppression in any form. But in general, most of us on Earth are kind of selfish, right? There are people who are very selfless, like Mother Teresa type people, where they just go out and they make it their life's purpose to help other people. And those people are exceptions to the norm. The norm is that most people are just trying to take care of themselves. It's not that they don't care, they just don't have time to think about other people, right? And you could somewhat make that argument for women. You could say that, well, why should women care about men in general? Because women need to take care of their own lives, etc., etc. Well, that argument works if you're short-sighted and you're only looking at it from the female perspective. If you look at it from the male perspective, men are taught and told that we always need to respect women. Men are taught and told that we need to always stand up for women, and particularly in the last century, we have women's rights, women's suffrage, first wave feminism, which was fine, okay. Second and third wave feminism, which is what messed, is where it really got messed up. So it's funny how there's like a difference there. When it comes to women, it's like they always have no accountability. There's always like, oh, why is this? There's always a caveat. But when it comes to their problems, we're always supposed to, why are you so shallow? Why don't you care about women more? Why do you see what I'm saying? So it's like there's always a disconnect. There's always a imbalance. There's always hypocrisy there. Men are supposed to stand up for women. Men are supposed to take care of women. Men are the ones who are supposed to work. Men are the ones who are supposed to pay the rent. Men are the ones who are supposed to buy the drinks. Men are the ones who are supposed to, initiate the date. Men are the ones who are supposed to plan the date. Men are the ones who are supposed to pay for the date, right? We've got all these responsibilities. Whereas, what do women have to do? They have to show up, and they have to be pretty. And they're expected to give us sex if they want us to pay for everything, which is fundamentally prostitution, okay? And many women's minds will be blown right there, and they'll be like, what? That's the most sexist thing I've ever heard. But that's the truth. That's the truth. That's all you have to do is show up. Most men do not care about how intelligent you are. Most men do not care. And then that's an unfortunate thing. We don't care about your achievements, because we don't base you on that. We don't, and women know this, and this is why women don't have achievements, because women don't need to have achievements. This is why it's so important for women to be good looking. This is why everything that's focused around women is about their looks, because their looks are currency. Their looks are their achievement. Their looks are what opens the doors. Their looks and their sexuality are what are the key that turns the lock to men. Men, on the other hand, we have to have achievements. We have to have stuff going for us. We have to have currency. We have to have resources. We have to have status, right? We can't just show up and be good looking, because women, it doesn't work. I've been there. I've just, hey, I'm here, and it's like it never works. You have to have something. So women don't care about men in the sense that men care about women, right? We're taught that we have to respect women. We're taught that we have to do all these things, jump through all these hoops in order to please women, in order to get women interested in us. And what do women have to do? All they have to do is show up. No one teaches women to respect men. No one teaches women to treat men kindly. No one teaches women to, build up their man. No one teaches women to... It's funny how no one talks about this. Nobody in society, it's not stressed at all in society. It's not emphasized whatsoever. If a guy is lucky, he'll get a girl who had a good dad, who was a little bit woke and maybe a little red-pilled, and he kind of raised her a little differently. That happens sometimes. I see it sometimes. And even in those cases that I see it, it's not enough. And believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I've been around a lot of girls in my life. I've dated a lot of girls. I've gone out and I've talked to a lot of girls, whether at bars, parties, house parties, events, friends, through social group, through clubs, through going to the mall talking to girls, through going on the street talking to girls. I've dated girls long term. I've dated girls short term. I've hooked up with girls. I've had horrible girlfriends. I've had some okay girls in my life. I've had the girls that I thought I was in love with who thought they loved me and it didn't work out. I've had girls in that same scenario where it worked out horribly. I've been through it all in my 3 decades plus on this earth. I know what I'm talking about. Every once in a while, you'll come across a girl who's a little bit different because of various reasons. Usually the 2 main reasons are, 1, she's been through some real shit in her life, such as she's had a kind of a horrific event, or she just has real people around her. She has real parents where they're real, and usually she comes from a poverty background. So it's that, or she has a cool dad. Occasionally these girls will have cool dads, and if they have a cool dad, she can somewhat be all right. He'll raise her to somewhat be all right. But because of gynocentrism, because society is so, it coddles women and it gives them no accountability, no social or moral responsibility whatsoever in 2019, and I haven't seen it really ever. And I grew up in the 90s. I was a teenager and a kid in the 90s. Okay, I didn't see it then. Really, maybe I was too young, but I didn't see it in the 2000s, and I certainly didn't see it 2010 onward, because since then I've just met the worst of the worst, and it's gotten worse and worse, if it ever was good. Okay, I didn't grow up in the 60s, I didn't grow up in the 70s, I didn't grow up in the 80s, so I don't know how good those generations were. All I can account for is the 90s, the 2000s, 2010, 2019, and from 2010 to 2019, it certainly was not good. Certainly, just if they ever had accountability, they certainly don't now. If they ever had any social or moral responsibility, they certainly don't now. So why would they care about men? What is it going to benefit them, right? Now, at best, a woman will care about the man that she loves. Okay, at best. At best, she'll appreciate the man that she loves, but it's always a selfish type of appreciation. It's always a selfish love. What does he do for me? And this is women's attitudes, and this is what happens when parents don't raise good daughters. This is what happens when society doesn't raise quality women, is they're very selfish, and they don't they just don't care about men unless you're doing something for them, unless you're personally benefiting them in some way that they want to be benefited, whether it's emotionally, sexually, financially, okay, or their version of romance. If you're not fulfilling one or more of those boxes, if you're not checking off one or more of those boxes, they don't care about you. They don't care about your problems. They don't care about what it means to be a man. They don't care about how hard it is for you to be a man. They don't care about how hard it is for you to talk to them. They don't care about how hard it is for you to date them. They don't care. And I've experienced this in all my relationships. They are utterly selfish. The only time they're not utterly selfish is when they are infatuated with you, and when they really have a crush on you and they really like you. And believe me, that period is short and thin. It's not a long period, and it's not a glamorous period. You get what you get, and you got a lot of competition in that little time frame. She might even cheat on you in that time frame, but she still loves you, and that's what you get. It's this little blip where it's like, okay, this girl really likes me, and she'll do anything for me in that blip because she's infatuated with me, or because I'm bringing something to her, such as romance or sex, or a relationship, which is what she wants with me at the time. But trust me, when that little blip of emotion, infatuation, and crush is gone, she's gone too. She does not care about you after that. And that's how you know that a woman is phony, and that's how you know that these women don't really care about men. And it's also how you know that she wasn't a good woman to begin with. Okay? A quality woman, if there is such a thing, is going to care about you whether she loves you, or how do I put it? She's going to care about you whether you're with her or not. Okay? She's going to care about you because she once loved you. She's going to care about you because that's what real love is. Real love is, I care about you. Even if we're not together, I still love you and I still care about you. And you can tell. You can tell that woman cares about you by how she talks to you. You can tell. And if you guys break up and she's all of a sudden she's mean to you, or she's short, she doesn't ever want to talk to you again, it's like you question, did that woman ever really love me? And the truth is no, I don't think she did ever love you. Because if she did, why wouldn't she be communicating with you? Why wouldn't she have an open heart with you? Why wouldn't she be honest with you? Why wouldn't she, express genuine emotions for you, even though you're not together, even though maybe she chose somebody else, even though maybe she wants to live a different life and she says it's just not going to work out between us? Why would she still not communicate with you? Why would she still not, be in your life? So this shows that a woman only cares about a man as long as he's in her life and as long as he's benefiting her. And when I say in her life, I mean usually they're having a relationship. If you're not having a relationship with a woman, she doesn't care about you, period. She doesn't care about your struggles. She doesn't care about how lonely you are. She doesn't care if you might actually even be oppressed, because some men genuinely are oppressed in this society for various reasons. I'm not going to get into, because this video will be way too long, but for various reasons there are men who are oppressed. Okay, she doesn't care. Women in general do not care if you're oppressed. They care about female stuff. They care about themselves because they're females. They care that they're taken care of. They care that they get their rights. They don't care about your rights. They care about them. And this is why, or I should say, this is how you know that much of these institutions such as feminism, and the women's suffrage movement in 2019, at least, is phony, because it only goes one way. Really, genuine feminism and genuine equality and genuine love, etc., should be something that's shared between male and female, both genders. It should be something that's shared across the board, meaning if men are oppressed, then technically women are oppressed too, because every man should have a woman and every woman should have a man, right? But this is not how women see things. If you don't fit into that top 10 or 20% of guys who are above and beyond other guys, then you might as well be homeless, you might as well be dead, you might as well not exist in her eyes. You don't matter. If you're not good looking enough, if you don't have enough money, if you don't have enough status, you don't matter. If you don't have enough resources that she's interested in you, you don't matter, buddy. You just don't matter to her. You could fall off the face of the earth and die. She won't care about you in general. Okay? This is the difference between men and women, right? It's only about what they want, and they'll gladly share a guy who's a top 10% or a top 20%. They'll gladly chase that guy, knowing damn well he's seeing other women, knowing damn well that he's a player, knowing damn well that, and then that will even turn them on more. That will even turn them on more, because they realize, hey, this guy, girls want him, and that turns me. I want to be the girl to get him. But if they think that no girl is chasing you or no girl wants you, they're not going to pay attention to you. They're just going to be like, well, this guy's a loser. No girls want him. It's like the opposite. It's like if no girls wanted a guy, if no guys wanted a girl and she was attractive and I was like, this girl's got a good personality and no guys want her and no guys taking her up. Like, this girl's a gem. I'm going to try to get her. Like, that's how a genuine person thinks about it, right? But these women are fighting and in competition with other women over this desirable male when he's just a piece of crap. All he is like, okay, he's got money and he's good looking and he's in shape. So they want his seed, they want his sperm to have kids with. When in reality, they're just fighting for a player. They're fighting for a dirtbag, right? And it's like, that's female nature. That's female nature. They don't want to love that man. They just want to take from him what he has to give them, his seed, which is good genes passed on, his attractiveness, and his resources. That's what they're fighting over. And this guy, meanwhile, he's banging 5 to 10 women, and they're okay with that. They don't even care. Or they want to be his number one. That's like their goal. I want to be his number one, when they don't even care that he's been a slut, that he's slutting around, he's had a bad track record. That actually turns them on more. Whereas for a guy, most of us would be like, wow, this girl doesn't have any miles on her, meaning she hasn't been with a lot of guys. No guys are fighting for her. That's awesome. I think this girl's special because of that, right? I want to get with this girl. But women see the opposite. Women view that and in the opposite way. So it just makes no sense. And it's like, this is female nature. And I think that it is nature. It is DNA. It's biology. For some reason, it's fucked up as it is. And I think somewhere along the line, it got twisted. I think evolution fucked it up. And because you can make a case that it's not healthy. You can make a case that it's